Yeah, there were more than 40 countries actually. Lots of South Asian, European, and even American choirs who traveled to China to participate. And it was really lovely because when we walked into the hall where we were supposed to sing, like all the flags were hanging from the ceiling, and it was really, we were really proud because we were the only choir representing our country, and to see our flag there was really, it really made us proud. And it was a good experience because we had choirs coming and asking us for our music because they really loved what we sang. So yeah, it was good to even listen to them and see, you know, how can we improve in certain areas, or like how they are better than us, or you know, there are different styles of singing. So it was good exposure.
Talking about experience and memories, I'm sure you all would have had a lot of fun memories as well to take home once you all finish the tour. So if you all guys would just like to mention a couple of those.
Sure, I think it was really, really lucky that I got a chance to taste frog, and so did all of my other friends here. I was actually expecting to have other creepy crawly stuff on my plate, but then I got a chance of only eating frog. But that alone was a really, really nice experience. And for all those who think that it tastes bad, no, it doesn't. It tastes like chicken. And it was deviled frog.
It was really nice.
It's really nice.
While we were there, we could all call our room, so everyone kept calling each other and talking in gibberish, which sounded like Chinese. So then there was a lady who called, and then she said, I'm coming up to your room, and it was said in a very Chinese accent, so I thought someone was prank calling us. And then there was like a whole bunch of girls in the room, and this was the assistant manager. And she walks in and said, there's a stain on your carpet. There actually was a stain on our carpet. That's because we were in a hurry while doing makeup. Some of the makeup had stained the carpet. And then she said, you'll need to pay for this. And it actually it came up to about 4,000 Sri Lankan rupees. So we said, okay, we'll pay it by the end of the day. But then everyone said, okay, we'll just try to clean it. And so then everyone got down and started pouring water and detergent and everything, and started cleaning the towels. And the spots actually just came out. So we explained to her, and then we said, okay, we're really sorry, it's not going to happen again.
And something about Pearl River?
Singing ship.
We were taken on a cruise on this river called the Pearl River, and we were supposed to have dinner there and also sing. And there were also other choirs who traveled with us. It was like a cruise for about, I don't know, 45 minutes.
It was like a social.
Yeah, and that was a point where we could interact with other choirs and get to know them and all that. So yeah, that was a sign of the Chinese choirs. It was nice because we saw like a lot of their very architectural buildings on either side, and it was a really nice sight in the night with all the lights and all that. Yeah,
pictures because they were highly amused because we were the only people with, I think, a little bit more color than them. So everybody who even randomly when we walked past, they're like, oh, I want to take a picture with you, I want to take a picture with you.
They just pose so much for photographs.
And I think we also smile a lot, so they you know, we are very inviting, like, you know.
Well, there you go. That was Mevan with the choir of Methodist College. They seem to be a very talented bunch of humble kids, Mevan.
I know they are, because especially considering the fact that there were about 40 countries.
40 countries, yes, and to win a platinum award, I think, is a huge achievement.
Definitely.
And they seem to be wanting to thank a lot of people who helped them, and I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure they feel their gratitude, Mevan.
Yes, definitely. And Vasam, just a personal question. Can you sing?
Well, if you want me to sing on air, I'm not going to do that.
But guess what? I think for our Christmas edition, folks, we're going to be singing something. Or I don't know whether that's even going to be approved, because our singing might not be anywhere close to acceptable.
Practice before we get on the show. But how about you? Are you much of a singer?
Yes, I'm a very professional singer.
Really?
In the shower.
I'm sure you sound good in the shower.
but yeah, that's a bit about our singing skills. But talking about a cappella music, that's what they're specializing in. We'll hear one of their songs also later on in the show. But right about now, let's head on to a short commercial break. We'll be back on Good Morning Sri Lanka.
Well, welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. Christmas is around the corner, and I'm sure if you have kids, you'll be facing this common problem a lot of people are facing right now, which is your kids may be indicating what they want from Santa Claus.
I know. Now for the next part, kids, please, parents rather, if you have any kids, just send them off somewhere, because it's interesting thought, Basam, you brought up just before the show started off about the whole Santa phenomenon.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did you believe in Santa when you were young?
No, I think I'm not too sure, but I think maybe till the age of around 5 or 6. But then my parents shared this view, which probably I will share in the future too, that if they're going to give a gift, they want to take the credit for it rather than give it to Santa.
But you know something, Mevan, I was actually doing some research on this topic because it interested me recently, because I watched this movie, The Rise of the Guardians, and it kind of made me realize how much kids really believe in things like Santa, the Tooth Fairy, all these characters we used to believe in when we were young. And there were actually a lot of forums on the internet where parents had wanted to find out what is the best time to tell their kids about Santa's
so typically
existence.
it's probably around the ages of
11 and 12. That is what the forums say. But it's interesting because psychologists also say that I mean, when your kids are really young and if they do believe in Santa, don't really force them out of the idea, because I mean, kids, they like to pretend, they like to explore,
and it'll be a bit of a shock for them. Oh my gosh, there's no Santa.
And it apparently actually stimulates their creativity, because they start believing things, they close their eyes and imagine the whole world of Santa, they start writing letters.
True enough. I know. And unfortunately, we have to wrap up today's edition of Good Morning Sri Lanka. That's a bit about Santa from the expert.
Yes, but the irony of the whole situation is, if your kid actually comes up to you these days and asks Santa rather for a Samsung Galaxy S3 or something, what are you going to do then?
That's the thought we're going to leave you today with, and Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Keep watching MTV Sports.
Bye-bye.
Sisa bama bolo bolo bema, nyeke siele la komashu. Sisa bama bolo bolo bema, 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 sisa bama bolo bolo bema. Kwanena tinabo. Moya kwanela dinamo kwadul moya kwadul moya kwadul moya kwanela dinamo kwadul moya kwanela dinamo kwadul moya kwadul moya kwadul moya nyeke siele la komashu, sisa bama volo volo bema. Nyeke siele la komashu, sisa bama volo